Y'all, I have a story for you. So I tend to be like very like on top of my health stuff, and I can definitely be a squeaky wheel. I'm a great advocate. So mine was actually my right foot. Like I could tell was just like just looking like a bit off, if you will. But I kept an eye on it. I had no reason to be concerned. It was just like the coloration was just like little more like reddish or blue in my toes. Long story short, I went to like walk-in clinic. They sent me to a podiatrist, and he was like, "Oh, just put on a sock. It's the winter. This is like March or April." And he's like, "I think you might have like pernia or chilblains." He's like, "But everything's perfusing fine." And I was like, "Well," I told him my entire medical history, and he is like, "No, I don't see a problem." I messaged my cardiologist. They're like, "No, no, you're fine." So then I kept watching it, and I'm like taking pictures and documenting. A month later, I was like, no, something's not right. I went back to a walk-in clinic. I went to my PCP, and they're like, you probably, what is it? The Raynaud's, I was like, but it's
Yep.
only in one foot and it's not temperature dependent. Like it's starting to kind of really cramp and ache. And so, but they were like, well, we can get you into vascular in October. And by the way, this is like the last week of May at this point. So again, I did my own
What?
research, and I was like, I was looking at the symptoms for peripheral artery disease. I'm like, I think I have this. And again, I didn't meet like the traditional risk factors, but I did have like catheterization through my artery in 1984 and 1985. And I was like, I don't know, but like symptoms that make sense. So I was like, so I just went to the ER, like it's like, and I was like, can someone just do an ABI and like atrial Doppler? Like objectively, my foot is obviously miscolored, and they recognized it, but they were like, listen, no, like this is a waste of your time. It's a waste of our time. You don't have this. So, but my blood pressure was low, I think probably unrelated. So they ended up deciding to keep me and wait till the next morning rounds. And then when they did, they ordered a bunch of blood tests, and they did do the atrial Doppler and the ABI. And they're like, there's something kind of interesting. We're going to go ahead and like admit you. And they did a CT, like, angiogram the next morning. And then they basically said, you have a full centimeter full occlusion in your superficial femoral artery. Um, yeah. And so they were like, when you do surgery tomorrow, and I'm like, wait, like I want to meet this surgeon. I want my doctors involved, like
Good
blah,
for
blah,
you.
blah. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I do not play. And thankfully I do know a couple of like people like within the facility, which is obviously not everyone has that. And so I finally was like, hey, you guys, like someone like, and they're like, so within right away, they all came in, they called like my like cardiologist at his house and stuff. And so they ended up put me like on a heparin drip for 2 days, and I had surgery like on like 2 days later.